0 to 100 is quite a journey. 100 to million, quite another, and million to trillion is an altogether new story. And that's why we bring together serial entrepreneurs with our next panel, who will talk to us about India's journey to a $5 trillion economy, which will be in the times to come, powered by innovation, technology, and bold entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, now leading you on to the next conversation for this evening, which is Vision $5 trillion, India, the third largest economy. And I'd like to begin by welcoming our esteemed moderator, Mr. Hirdesh Madan, serial entrepreneur, co-founder, hitbullseye, a leading SaaS company in digital education. Warm welcome to you, sir. Let's also welcome Mr. Madan Padaki, founder and CEO of One Bridge, an initiative bridging rural-urban commerce in India. And you'd also like to keep applauding for Bhavin Singh Bhagat, co-founder of IndiaBizForSale.com and IBGrid.com, providing investment banking and M&A solutions for Indian business. My apologies, the throat has given way completely, but I'll go on. Let's also welcome Mr. A.K. Mohanty, founder, TATWA Technologies, a leading IT and ITES company in Odisha. And Mr. N V Kumara Guru, Senior Director, Alumni Engagement and External Relations, ISB. All yours, sir.
Thank you, Niharika, and what a great excitement with the leaders like Madan and Bhavin and Mohanty and Guru. The context is very clear. We as a country today are the 5th largest economy in the world after US, China, Germany, Japan. And as in the recent budget also, government set a target that we should become a 5 trillion economy very soon. And this target cannot be achieved alone. Government has to do some work, which includes infrastructure development, policies, ease of doing business. But on the other side, we have entrepreneurs who play a large role in complementing the government's policy and framework, that how together we can reach this target. And in the last 10 years, we have a decent growth. We have grown almost 66%. And the next couple of years are formidable for India. And you know, there's a lot of uncertain word today. I don't know, after Mr. Trump, when you get up in the morning, what statement you will see in the newspaper and how the markets will respond. It's almost a daily phenomenon today. But keeping those things different, I will ask first Madan a question. You have been from the skilling industry and you have been on the mission of creating so many, I think 100 million entrepreneurs. So I would like to ask an open-ended question to everyone. That what's your view that how India can achieve that 5 trillion economy as soon as possible?
Thank you. And if I were Trump, I will say, let us make California the 30th state of India. And perhaps why not? Right? So maybe that is the fastest way to achieve a $5 trillion economy. But beyond that, see, my sense is that, well, GDP is a great measure, right? And whether it's 5 trillion, 7 trillion, whatever. And given where we are as a country, we will continue to grow. You know, whether it's going to be 8% growth, 6.5% growth, I don't think we are in a state where we will suddenly fall to a 2%, 3% growth. The fundamentals are very much there, the domestic consumption is driving it. So, for a $7 trillion economy, and I'll preface it quickly, the markers has to be that this has to be equitable growth. we can't just have the Bangalore's, Delhi's, Bombay's growing. It has to be every district growing. So if you take the 7 districts that we have, or which means if we have to become a $7 trillion economy, each district of our country has to be between a $6 to $10 billion economy. Today we are at about half of that, 3 to 5 billion on an average. If you talk of one district being $10 billion economy, it is the power of 5 Bhutans in one district. Because of Bhutan's economy is $2 billion today. So I would want us to look at the power that is there in every district. And if $10 billion economy can be contributed by 10,000 entrepreneurs who are building businesses between 5 to 10 crores each, then we are achieving equitable growth, right? So it is possible without acquiring California. It is possible, to my mind, only if there is an equivalent, or I would even go to the extent of saying, in 5 years, if you can envision a TiE chapter in every district of the country with 10,000 members, each of the members being inspired to build a 5 to 10 crore business, and we as an ecosystem supporting it, why 7? We can be 70 trillion and acquire all of US as well.
Thank you. So I think we in TiECON we have started contributing already.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think we need more forums like this.
Yes. So Bhavin, you have been from the field of finance, investment banking, and again, without the funds, it is next to impossible. And today, I think the way we have IPOs and the possibilities where the finances is available. Looking at from that context as well as from the journey perspective, what's your take on that 5 trillion economy, and what's the recipe for it that India should take as a country?
Thank you. So first of all, I like the idea of the vision of thinking towards 5 trillion economy. In the morning in the session there was suggestion that we all should think about bold vision. If there was no bold vision given to us as Indians that we should think about 5 trillion economy, we wouldn't be talking about it today. So first is that vision. Second thing about finance, I believe that to India to become a developed country, to have that kind of GDP growth and all that, we would need lot of changes. We can't talk about all those right now, but few of those are close to my heart. One is job creation. As an entrepreneur, we are building a lot of jobs, especially if you think about MSME and SMEs. They are building amazing level of jobs in India. The second thing is about finance. There is money coming from outside India, money coming within from India. So there is a lot of capital available in that sense. However, obviously not all businesses get the capital on time. There is still a lot of gaps to achieve. One area I feel very positive about, or where I see the growth potential, is corporate venture, CVCs, where corporates work with startups. They help them with initial level of resources, network, technology, whatnot, and help them succeed in their journey. We have seen a lot of these big corporates like Reliance, Adani, Tata's. They have worked with brands, they have helped them grow. But we need not just dozens of them. We need maybe few hundreds of them in the next few years, and maybe thousands of them. And we do have that kind of corporates in India. If you look at a lot of listed companies, a lot of these listed companies, their market cap is more than 20, 30, 40,000 crores. Those are the corporates. They can definitely work with startups, work towards innovation, and help India grow in this journey of 5 trillion economy.
Thank you, Bhavinji. And my next question is to Mohanty ji. In fact, Madan talked about as Delhi, Bangalore, and I think you are flag bearer of, we talk about Orissa, right? And I think that's what the crux is, that every state of our country should get into, and I think at TiE, Orissa, you are doing fantastic, fantastic job, and you belong to IT industry. And today we talk about the entire future, and we are betting one of the future about this country when we're talking about 5 trillion economy is maybe innovation around technology and AI use case. A lot of discussion have been taking place that should we make our LLMs or should we should we not make LLMs but focus on the use cases or making India a global hub of the use case. So my question to you is that one is your general perspective about 5 trillion economy and how technology can be leveraged. As a country we can leverage to get into this task.
Hello. So good evening Chandigarh, and thanks Puneet and SK and giving the opportunity to be part of this one. Last 2 days amazing, and really the kind of energy Chandigarh you have, it's really inspiring all of us. And with this kind of positivity and this kind of things, I don't think simply doubt that India cannot be a 5 trillion economy. We can. But more important thing is that 5 trillion economy India has planned or we aspire to have. But what cost and how? So we should have, first thing is that we should have the right mindset. The way we are moving, the way we are looking at your economy, the way we are thinking of our growth, we have to change the gear. We have to change the mindset, more important. And more important that India, we have to have our own ISP, USP. What strength India is having. We cannot do everything in the world. We can do best in the manufacturing, best in service sector, everything we want to do. But rather India should come up with a strategy, the policy maker, that what USP we have without disturbing, causing much impact to the environment. That kind of thing India should do. I think strongly India, this year the policy makers too. Like that we can promote tourism. We got village level, creating MSME entrepreneur in the district level or village level, that kind of things. And another thing is that we can promote technology because we are solving whole world. And in the AI revolution is coming up, technology coming up, we can be the AI capital of the world. India is focused because we have strong education system on that. But if one person starting with technology guy, with a small app, he can be $1 billion. Don't you think India has the potential to be a $1 billion company? In that sense, I have strong belief that we can. But our policy, whatever things we do from today to the time we think to $5 billion, our approach has to be changed. We have to think that without having much climatic impact, much disturbing to our ecosystem, how we can attain 5 trillion economy. It's not that suppose we do manufacturing, you can do manufacture the factory of the world. I mean the replacing China geopolitical situation. But what we are gaining out of that? We will be wasting our forest, we will be using our environment, we will be giving services to the other part of the world. Instead of that, I can do what about minerals? India produces, when my state produces a lot of iron minerals and chrome minerals and export all over the world. We are not getting anything. Instead of that, if you have value addition to that and then send to the world, then you can really create the value. So we have to think in that aspect. Instead of talking a very big thing, 5 trillion economy, the largest economy, we should have definitely they'll be working, decision maker must be working on that, but they should take also the inputs from the like TAI or the people who have seen the world, the economists, the how best way India can attain that type of economy. That is my view.
Thank you, Mohanty ji. And my next question is to Guru. And let me tell you that ISP is not just imparting management education. ISP is a phenomena. I'm saying so many unicorns, so many startups, incubation, star performance. I'm saying ISP is a perfect recipe for education and entrepreneurship, I'll say. And I think 3 of us are from the field because you also start from Meritech and skilling, and because I'm from the education, very close to our hearts. So Guru, I would like to know from you, one is that we talk about, because education is one of the most important ingredients when we talk about 5 trillion economy. And what's your take on 5 trillion and again perspective of education?
Thanks, Hirdesh. Thanks for those kind words as well, and thanks for inviting me here. I think it's fair to say that when you say those kind words about ISB, I don't think it's something that we should be very, very proud of. In fact, I think as a society, as a country, we should start normalizing that that's the thing that we should expect from every academic institution. You use the word phenomena for ISB. Very nice to hear that. But it should be about every institution. That's what we should say, right? Because here I see Vikram. He was on the panel earlier. I saw Sahil earlier. Somir was here. We have many of our alums here, and many others were also friends of ISB. So I think it's incumbent. Every academic institution or a business school like ISB should strive to be an island of excellence. However, just being an island is not sufficient. You have to be an island with multiple bridges to the community around you, right? Only then you can contribute, you can allow for people to come from wherever they are outside to ISB, to the institution, and from here to go there. So you have to be islands of excellence. Academic institutions have to be like that. But you also have to have multiple bridges. But in terms of how can we aspire to be a $5 trillion economy, and I have a personal view on $5 trillion, but I'll talk about that later. I think for us as a country, right, each one of my co-panelists have shared their views on this thing. I think for me, we should build our capability on 3 aspects, which is one is talent, right? Because whatever we want to achieve, if you don't have the talent to achieve that, then we are not going anywhere. Thankfully, India has that in abundance, but we cannot sit, the fact that you have someone like Madan who is saying we should acquire California, I think Canada should appoint him as their ambassador, because Canada is now under the threat of being acquired as the 51st state. So I think it's like, there's a talent from Bangalore to Canada that can go. Via Chandigarh, of course, because every other household in Punjab wants to be in Canada, right? So, but I'm saying you need talent, right? So that is very much important. We have that in our country, but we can't rest, right? That's one thing. Second is technology. It's again everywhere around us. It's in the air around us. But unless we don't have the talent to harness technology, our economy will only grow at the pace that we have been seeing, but we can't grow at the pace that we want to see it grow. And the last thing, I think, as a society, it's important, is trust. We have to have trust in institutions. We have to trust in each other. And that is very important, because in a country like India, which is very diverse, and you are seeing people from different parts of the country right here on this panel, the fact that what brings us all together is this one idea of India, Bharat, whatever you want to use it, But I think trust is very important. So for me, I think it's when we can marry this together somehow, beyond just being a nice, cliched saying that we all, we have to say these things at meetings like this. But I think we will only say these things if we truly believe in it. Otherwise, nobody is going to come and talk about these things, right? I think this is a great energizer for us as a society, as entrepreneurs. Niharika said it's all serial entrepreneurs. The way I like to think is these people are the serial entrepreneurs. I'm a parallel entrepreneur, So I'm not a serial entrepreneur, but there is at the TIE Ascent last weekend in ISB, when the TiECON got kicked off, that word was used, parallel entrepreneurs. So you can look up that word. So I think we have to have, every one of us is an entrepreneur, but we need to sort of marry these things together so that we are able to achieve the objectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Guru, for fantastic words. And so today when we talk about growth, and today one word which we use, ESG, and we today used to talk about inclusive growth. Today we are also talking about growth with sustainability. We are talking about growth with ensuring that we are not disturbing our environment, and we have seen what is happening since couple of years in Delhi, and trust me, first time in Chandigarh we used to laugh at it कि दिल्ली में होता है, and trust me, this year in Chandigarh we saw it, and saw it badly. I'm saying couple of days we had those hazy weather. So when we talk about growth, we cannot kill our environment and grow. So Madan, and interestingly, we have tried president. I have been a past president. You are there, and so my question to Madan, to you, is that keeping these factors in place, it's a very tightrope walk. And when you talked about growing, every district has to grow. So what's your take on that? What's actually to be done at the grassroots level, and keeping both the things in place?
Sure. No, I think that's a very wonderful question. Given that we are in the evening, and I I know you're tired hearing of just words, so let me put a song. And I was sitting there, I was just thinking of the song. Maybe who knows it, we can join. I'm reminded of the song at, how many of you have seen the film Curse? The older generation will lift their hands. You know, I think there's a beautiful song which goes that Prem dekha, pyar dekha, yari dekhi, yaar dekha, dil ke yaar paar dekha, ye sara sansar dekha, upar niche andar bahar dur paas, mausam hai ek jaisa paisa. What I want to bring that is, in the quest for $5 trillion, paisa, I think if we lose our societal connections, our connections as a humanity, and in that blind rush towards generating paisa, we leave people behind, I think it's not worth the chase.
Absolutely.
Right? We need that pyar, we need the yari, we need the dil, right? In the long run, I think these are more important. So you talked about ESG, I talk about HDI, the Human Development Indicators, I talk about happiness quotient. How happy are we as a society, as a community? Here we sit and have a great time, right? Nobody is looking at you and saying, "Aapka valuation kitna hai, ye kitna hai." We are all sitting together as friends saying, how can we help each other? To me, it is a holistic approach to economic growth. Of course, you need to feed stomachs. You know, you can't preach loftier stuff on empty stomachs, so we need to fill the stomachs. But there is a limit beyond which I think if we keep filling the stomachs, it's going to hurt us. So to your point, the ethos that we need to build as a community is that we are standing with each other. We are standing, what Gandhiji said about Sarvodaya and Antyodaya is super important. I think sometimes we forget that progress happens when everybody progresses and the last man in the line progresses, or the last person in the line progresses. How do we structure ourselves, our society and our entire governance process to make sure that this happens is a critical element, including the planet, right? I mean, in the long run, we're all dead. I don't think the mind when you're trying to take your last breath is, oh shit, I sold my company at a lower valuation or whatever, right? I mean, you're thinking about love, you're thinking about how we should have spent more time, blah, blah, blah. So I leave it there to say, I think we have a much bigger purpose. And if you can, I don't think there's an either or we need to carry both. Yeah.
So,
Bhavin, sing.
running
Now
short
that
of
you can
time.
sing.
So, one minute, quick
I think she's waiting and time is up. I do not mind. Actually, Madan has concluded from his point of view very well. I wouldn't mind to pass it on to the final panelist and move on.
Mohanty ji, your one 30 seconds take on the things.
I said that to attain this target of 5 trillion economy, we should focus on quality. Quality in the sense that in terms of education, university, and we should be not focus on quantity kind of things. And for sake of development, we can afford to cost to our nature or our environment.
Thank you. Guru, your take.
So for me, I don't know about the question. I have my answer prepared. So I have my own answer. I don't care about the question. So this is my view about the $5 trillion thing. I think as a country, we have to be Atmanirbhar. The way to be Atmanirbhar is not to measure on $5 trillion. Because when the Prime Minister coined it or whoever coined $5 trillion, you know what the rupee value to a dollar was. And look at where the rupee value to a dollar is. Suddenly there's a 10% difference. So therefore our target has moved by I don't know how many months. So it's best not to have these $5 trillion targets, is to have a target that we as a country will outperform ourselves. And then eventually somebody else to say this is the India level of target that we should follow. So this is my answer. So your question was something else.
Thank you, Guru, and thank you everyone. And over to you, Niharika.
I think one day time and I are going to sit down and have a nice long conversation about why it goes by so fast. Thank you for adhering to the time limit, and what a pleasure it has been listening to all of you this evening. May I request our Vice President, Mr. Puneet Verma, to come up and felicitate the panel. First up, please give it up for Mr. Madan Padaki, founder and CEO of OneBridge. Let's also hear it for Mr. Bhavin Singh Bhagat, co-founder of IndiaBizForSale.com and IBGrid.com. Something feels quite missing in the room. And we have Mr. A.K. Mohanty, founder of TATWA Technologies, a leading IT and ITES company in Odisha. And President TiE Bhubaneswar as well. And let's also join together in felicitating Mr. N V Kumara Guru, Senior Director, Alumni Engagement and External Relations at ISB, bringing expertise in industry-academia collaboration and strategic partnerships. And of course, tying the conversation together was our esteemed moderator, Mr. Hirdesh Madan, co-founder hitbullseye, a leading SaaS company in digital education, and rightfully so, a serial entrepreneur. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for that lovely and enriching conversation.